I'm building homestead traditions from the ground up. As a first-generation homesteader, I don't have family knowledge to draw from, just a few years of intentional learning and observation. What I've discovered is how profoundly different my mornings feel now compared to when I used to live in the city. Today, I want to share what I'm learning about traditional morning rhythms, especially as we transition from spring into summer, because this seasonal awareness has become one of the most rewarding aspects of my journey. When I first began homesteading, I really had to discover what authentic mornings would look like for me. And I had to relearn some things that I had taken for granted when I lived in the city. Transitioning from years of urban mornings, very structured, filled with things like meditation or prayer, felt disconnected from nature. Being told that seeing the sunrise was really the best way to wake up felt almost impossible for me. Now it's part of my daily life and I absolutely love it. Getting up with the sun feels natural most days, unless I go to bed too late the night before because kids, kitchen is too messy, or I just have that endless list of gardening tasks I need to get done. But without generational knowledge to guide me, without an older generation that I could observe how they lived, how they did things, I've learned mostly through practice and through trial and error. And I've developed some rhythms through intentional experimentation. One thing that I really love about homesteading is how these rhythms change with the season. And so the old platitude, seasonal living, gets a real, tangible, practical meaning. Each season has taught me what my unique needs during this specific time of year are, as well as my animals and my plants and the farm at large. I no longer fit myself into the mold of doing things exactly the same way every single day, 365 days a year, because that is not the reality of living with the seasons. Instead, I now relish the fact that I can get up and go outside when the sun is up. And in the summer, that means 5 a.m., whereas in the winter, that sometimes means even as late as 8 a.m. Our first year of homesteading has really been the best teacher when it comes to this for me. I did approach it with the regimented mindset of city life that I had before then and had to pivot very quickly. That being said, I do have things that I carry with me all throughout the seasons. I usually love to sit with my journal for a few minutes in the morning, just planning out my day, getting lay of the land, making sure that I'm prepared for all the things that are coming at me that day, making sure that no balls get dropped, just like any mom or any family, anywhere really, except I have a lot of balls that I'm juggling at any given moment. During the spring, a few of my horses need some extra feed in the mornings. In the summer, they don't have this need. During the winter, I break the ice on all my animals' waters. In the summer, I make extra trips with buckets to make sure they are watered in the summer heat. Living in harmony with the seasons has taught me so much about the need for us to change our rhythms as the year goes on, and the need for some periods of deep rest and periods of heavy work. And that brings me to spring and our transition from spring to summer. Spring mornings really revealed to me the true meaning of working with natural urgency. Everything awakens with such intensity. The land goes from being brown and seemingly dead to suddenly bursting with greenery and abundance. The animals' energy transforms along with it. They go from eating dead grass and dried hay all winter long to suddenly grazing on fresh, dewy, nutrient-filled grass. And this definitely reflects in their energy levels that they now get to extend as the daylight extends also. When I used to live in the city, winters would feel endless and so dreary. It was one of my least favorite seasons, one that I barely made it through. Now I approach winters with the anticipation of the spring hustle coming. I see it as a brief pause, like at the end of an exhale or the top of an inhale, where I get to cocoon in, create some warmth and energy that I will need come spring. Now, perhaps the trickiest part in all of this is mastering the transition, shifting from the cocoon mode of winter into the hustle of spring, and then from that into the heat of summer. Luckily, living close to nature and experiencing the shifting temperatures and daylight hours helps a ton because my body just kind of adjusts. But just like my 4-year-old can find it pretty challenging at times to move from one activity onto the next, especially if he doesn't really feel like it, I too sometimes struggle with this, with the shift from laying around with my family to suddenly having to work in the garden nonstop. The most important part, for me at least, to make this easier is to remember that this too is just a season. And I love this concept and apply it to almost every single area of my life. This is a season that will pass. It will not always all be this hard. Soon enough, there'll be the summer and I will be reaping the rewards of my labor. It is important to sow seeds in the spring so that I have all the vegetables or all summer, all fall, and all winter long that my heart desires. These transitional moments teach patience and perseverance in ways that I never expected. As we look ahead into the summer mornings will bring their own distinct energy, and I'm preparing for that shift. Suddenly, the motivation to get up even earlier will be almost effortless. Escaping the heat is a really big motivation for me. I am learning to think seasonally, preparing for what my future self will need right now. I recently read a really interesting quote that said, "Don't cheat with your current self on your future self." And that is so true. There is an art in living in the moment while also preparing for that, what lies ahead, and keeping in mind that which came before, not harping on each one. Living tenderly with what is, looking forward, and being aware what's behind you. One of the things that I am preparing for is preservation season, which is definitely going to be upon me. And there is, once again, a very subtle art to not fearing or bracing for the hard work that lies ahead, but learning how to appreciate it. I will have a video coming out next week all about preserving herbs and making your own herbal tea, one of the things I absolutely love doing. So if you would like to see that, make sure you hit subscribe to my channel so you get notified when that is uploaded. If you wanted to If you are a mama who dreams of homesteading, and maybe you have the land but haven't really started, maybe you don't have the land, maybe you would love to have the land at some point, here are some ways that you can start preparing your heart and your mind and your body for those beautiful homestead mornings that, frankly, for me, are one of my favorite parts about this lifestyle. See the sunrise and the sunset every day. Rise before your family, even if it's just for a little while, to take it all in for a few minutes in peace. Say a little prayer, do a meditation, journal for a few minutes. Your soul will thank you. Adjust your morning rhythms to the season, whether it be by what you're eating, the way you're moving, or your other morning activities. Focus on seasonal tasks. If you don't have a garden, is there a place where you and your little ones can go forage some wild herbs or fruit? Or maybe there's a farmer's market where you can buy a fruit. Or maybe there's a farmer's market where you can buy a few fresh items. Look at what traditionally gets done on a homestead during a specific season and see what you could do yourself. Baking sourdough is so fun in the summer months as fermentation speeds up. Preserving your own jams or canning tomatoes is such a blessing when the cold months hit. And making your own herbal teas will remind you of the long summer days, even in the dead of winter time. I am no expert at any of this. I'm learning all of this alongside you. Maybe I'm a few years ahead, but that's about it. I don't, unfortunately, have a grandmother or another family member to learn some of these things from. But I find that just the act of discovering and trying and testing is so grounding and results in beautiful personal growth that I've observed on myself over the past few years. I'm developing skills and intuition that I know will serve me throughout my life, and there's such deep satisfaction in creating meaningful traditions rather than simply inheriting them. For others building homestead knowledge without family guidance, I know that this path is both valid and valuable, and the learning process itself has become integral to what I cherish about this life. Each seasonal transition deepens my understanding of working in harmony with natural forces, which include me. I'm still in the early chapters of this journey, but sharing these discoveries feels important. if you're also creating homestead traditions from your own observation, or if you're somebody who is dreaming about living on a homestead and living this lifestyle, especially as you navigate seasonal changes, I'd be honored to hear what wisdom you're gathering. Tell me in the comments below.